Hi, welcome to 5-Minute Caregiver Tips. Today we're going to be talking about retirement readiness, retire or rewire. And why would we be talking about this in our caregiving roles? Because we are many times taking care of those people who are retired. And we're also probably witnessing some mistakes that were made. Maybe they've run out of resources, financial resources. Maybe they didn't move from a bigger home to a smaller home. Maybe they don't have friends and family around them. So some of those considerations that are really important for us as caregivers to consider. So when we look at life expectancy, approximately 45% chance that one spouse in a 65-year-old couple will live to be 95. I mean, look at our life expectancies. They've certainly changed in the last 20, 25 years. So we need to be aware of this and cognizant of this, that when we decide to retire, that we need to be considering how are we going to be when we may be 65, but maybe we're going to live to be 95. How is our life going to be at 95? And also when we talk about the financial resources, how are we going to make that stretch? Because Social Security certainly has changed a lot for people when those people no longer have pensions and they're relying on a system that is really, really being hit very hard as a direct result of a lot of the baby boomers that are now using those resources. So some things just to think about. And then we look at some of these other areas. How are you going to replace the fulfillment that you got from work, right? So we many times are at a place of work for 30 years, maybe more, maybe a little bit less. And we have a lot of rewards that come from this. Many times people are kind of counting down, I can't wait to get out. But you've got a lot of social aspects. You've got predictable income and benefits. You've got something that you're working toward that's much larger than yourself. So we've got to replace a lot of those things. And unfortunately, a lot of times people don't think about this. So there's other areas to think about too, like loss of routine. You know, when you're moving into retirement, it's really important to keep a schedule, just like you did when you were working. Feeling a loss or sense of belonging to something bigger than you. So again, you know, we go to work because we want to contribute to something greater, not just get a paycheck. So if you retire, what are you contributing to? And it's really important to consider volunteering. Many times people go on to work at a part-time job, maybe a job that they've always wanted to do, that wasn't as financially rewarding, but the emotional benefits were there. And feeling a sense of contribution to that greater cause. It's really, really important. So how do we look at balancing retirement? There's a lot of different factors. And if you can look at this slide, you'll see organization of time, our income, our health, and our legal aspects. Do we have those all planned? Do we have friendships and meaningful relationships? Or are we kind of isolated and alone? That's certainly really important the older that we get, that we have people that we can turn to. If you have a partner and you're considering retirement, are they going to retire at the same time as you? Certainly research shows that the most benefits for couples come when they try to retire together, and make sure that if you don't, that you have discussed all the pros and cons because of that. Choosing where to live, you know, making sure that you're around people that are like-minded. So lots of things to think about. Some of these other, you know, our health, well-being must come first. If we don't have our health, we have nothing. So it's really important to continue to make sure that you're dedicated to your health and wellness, your legal aspects, the home aspects, working with financial planners and legal professionals. So there's a lot of different resources available that you can probably find online. Some of the more historically focused, if you will, some that have been really focused in this area for some time now, are Marika and Howard Stone, who started the Too Young to Retire movement early 2004, and really talk about the other elements of retirement, not just the financial, because we get so caught up in the financial aspects. But there's a lot of different resources here on this slide. This next slide as well, there's a lot of different national organizations that you can turn to. And if all else fails, you can certainly contact me because I am a certified retirement coach in the whole area of non-financial and legal. So hopefully this will help you today thinking about when you are deciding to retire, maybe doing things a little bit differently than the people that you might be caregiving for. And stay tuned for more 5-minute caregiver tips. Thank you.